I'm from the
Same place as trap music, this that first react music. They can't hold me back, I'm feeling good cause I'm black music. Can't nobody touch.
Good evening and welcome back to another episode of Cigar Sundays Live, where we define, examine, and analyze words, sayings, and phrases used in American culture. And tonight, we will be smoking on the word motivation. So grab your thinking caps and get ready to smoke on words with two big nerds, myself, Chef Earl Pearl at DBCHEFTV, and the God, Ali Dawood L at BK Farm. And we are the Cigarden Panel. Peace, God. How you feeling?
Peace, guys. Y'all feeling pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It's stormy weather's out here, but we making it through the storm, right? Like we got ourselves in. We are batting down, so we good to go, man. How about you? What you got going on?
Same thing, God. You know, just thankful for another day as always. Just trying to be positive, productive, peaceful, motivated, dedicated, and just being thankful, always thankful, because it's a lot of player hateration going on out here.
Oh yeah, a lot of pocket watching, a lot of hate.
A lot of hate, you know what I'm saying? Like the hate is unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? It's unbelievable. But but I believe you doing something right if you got some haters. I'm gonna go with the Cat Williams said, like, you got something right. You doing something right if you got some haters. So to those haters, and those congratulators, y'all, make sure to smash that like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. Also, head on over to www.bksoulfarm.com and pick up your copy of 10-16-160 Self-Sustainability by Ali Dawood L at BK Soul Farm. Link is in the description. Also, don't forget, we got same great ribs, next level flavor, Ribs on the Run 2.0, bold flavor, made to go, real ribs, real flavor, real good. Perfect for events, parties, catering, and more. You can contact them at 984-331-6946, or just go ahead and scan that QR code to get you in that Ribs on the Run 2.0 mode. And then, y'all, one more time before we done, y'all, head on over to DBCHEFTV on YouTube and subscribe. We're giving away $100 each and every third Sunday live right here on Cigar Sundays, and we want you to be one of those lucky winners. But what you got to do is you got to subscribe to DBCHEFTV on YouTube. Put your name in the hat. We're going to show love to y'all a little bit because y'all showing love to us. All right. So good luck to everybody, and go ahead and subscribe, y'all. And then don't forget, you can kick it with us on Kick. Right now, we streaming live on Kick at DBCHEFTV. And then, like we always say, we got merch. Links is in the description. DBCHEFTV merch and BK Soul Farm merch. And like we always say, if money's tight, it's all right. We're going to still love them if they do what, God?
Smash that like.
Smash that like button. Smash it. Smash it. Beat it up. Beat it up. Abuse it. Use it. All right. Stay motivated and dedicated, y'all. And we're going to get into tonight's smoke. We got 5 questions for the word motivation. All right. And our first question is, what do you think of when you hear the word motivation? Question number 2. Does struggle create motivation, or can too much struggle destroy one's motivation? Question number 3. Which do you think is the best form of motivation? Fear, self-reflection, or comparison, and why? Number 4. Is internal motivation or somebody believing in you more powerful? And then 5th and final, last but never least, Is the word motivation bad, good, or misunderstood? And we know what we ask you to do. Stick around to the end of the show so the cigar panel can let you know what they think, whether it's bad, good, or misunderstood. And also, y'all, smash that like button. We encourage y'all to follow in the comments, in the chat, you know, and let us know what you think. And we're going to respond back to you during the show. All right. Fair enough. We're going to go ahead and get into our first question. What do you think of when you hear the word motivation? The guy Ali Dawoodell at BK Soul Farm.
Peace, God.
Peace, God.
So for me, when I think about motivation, I think about a reminder to never quit.
A reminder to never quit. Okay.
A reminder that I can't quit, right? Because I did wake up today, right? I do have an opportunity and a responsibility to be the very best version of myself, right? And at any point, if I forget to do that, right? Because you know, the only thing that beats that the only way you can fail is to quit, is to not try, right? And if you don't keep going, if you don't try your best, if you don't try to be your best, like you will die. Like that's why I say support your interests and live, because if you don't, if you're not motivated, no pun intended, but kind of really, then you will die, right? You need motion, like everything needs to move in order to create a current, to create a flow, to have some momentum, right? Like you got to move, and if you want to live, if you are alive and you want to stay that way, right? Then you got to remember that you can't quit, right? So that's what I think about when I think about motivation, a reminder to never quit.
No doubt, a reminder to never quit, man. Motivation. We answered our first question, y'all. What do you think of when you hear the word motivation? Self-determination. Self-determination. I got introduced to that word through celebrating Kwanzaa. Shout out to Nana V.
Hey, shout out.
And having, being an athlete and different forms of motivation in that realm, being in playing team sports. Let me say playing team sports. You have a coach in that environment, and they're saying different things, and you have different coaches that have different styles, and you learn that when you playing for different teams and coming up and stuff like that. But when I looked at it as a whole, it was, how bad do I want it? How bad am I determined to be able to get to that whatever the goal is? So self-determination was the main thing that stood out to me. Like when I think of motivation, like it doesn't even, I don't even think of, I think of how we got there, the teaching, because we have, we humans, we gotta be taught everything. But then it's like, okay, well, what about when you by yourself and you don't have no teacher? What about when it's all on you? What about when you have all of the tools, but you just, like now it's just like, okay, here go the tools, put it together. What am I going to do? Am I determined enough? Or do I need somebody to say, you could do it, you could do it? Like I saw that in my youth. And I think in developing, you needed that. But as you become an adult, like if you still need that, then, like it's a, you haven't fully, you're not an adult. You're just an older person, because the maturity is not there for you to say, I need to survive. I need to be self-determined. I need to make sure that whatever this is, that I'm doing it right, that I get it right, and I keep it right. Or I need to at least try. And no matter if I failed the first time, you know, that's just
you gotta run that back.
Yeah, just part of the learning curve. Like, I wasn't supposed to get it right the first time because it was new to me, you know. So this is part of that learning experience. And what I got to do now is I got to keep learning so I can get it to I can get that success. So I can get it to feel like, yeah, so I can feel good about it. So, you know, that's what I think of when I hear the word motivation, self-determination.
Word.
Shout out to Dr. Mo in the building. Peace, power, and profit.
Peace.
For sure. We appreciate you for pulling up. Yeah, y'all let us know what you think of when you hear the word motivation. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna pull up the definition like we always do, you know, because you just heard us exchange our meanings of it or what we think of when we hear it, but that don't mean we right, y'all. That don't mean we right. Well, we gonna find out tonight. All right, we definitely gonna find out tonight, and we're gonna go ahead and add this definition up here so we can get to it. So we got motivation, and we are using the Merriam-Webster dictionary. All right, online, y'all, merriam-websterdictionary.com, dictionary/motivation, and we get the act or process of giving someone a reason for doing something, the act or process of motivating someone. Then we got 1B, the condition of being eager to act or work, the condition of being motivated. Then we got 2, a motivating force, a stimulus or influence, incentive, a drive. Okay. And yeah, that's all they're giving us on it right there. The active process of giving someone a reason for doing something, the active process of motivating someone. All right, the condition of being eager to act or work, the condition of being motivated, a motivating force, a stimulus or influence, incentive, drive. What you think about that, God?
Yeah, I think that's all powerful, right? Like, I think you can't be lazy or you will die. Like, you will not get what you're looking for or anything if you don't have a reason to do something, right? If you don't act, you know, if you're not eager, right? If you don't have any like, can you imagine not having any incentives or any drive at all?
You talking about being a bum? Nah.
Nah, I can't even.
Nah.
I just can't.
Nah.
Just,
and people need to, you know, we live in a very sensitive world. So what I'll say is that I'm not talking about a homeless veteran who's traumatized. I'm not talking about a homeless person who has tried and tried again, and now they just accepting being homeless because, you know, we talking about people who just are comfortable with cutting corners, trying to get, you know, all the glory and do minimal to none of the work. You know, we talking about people that want everybody else to have compassion for their situations, and they're doing their least to try to, you know, at least meet the standards.
In fact, they're doing the most to go against the standards and do their own thing.
And do their own thing.
And hoping that you stay on the standards so that you can help their ass when they're in trouble. Yeah, that's a bum.
Yeah, that's a whole bum.
I can never imagine.
And don't think it's bum ass dudes and it's bum ass women too, okay? So don't think that anybody and it's bum ass transgenders, okay? So we're leaving no bum unturned out here, all right, or
Bum,
non-binary people,
bum
okay?
has no race, no gender, no
Yeah,
creed,
yeah,
none of
it's
that.
bum
Like,
ass blacks, whites, blues, greens, oranges,
I'm
yellows,
pretty sure
reds.
there's bum ass aliens, right? Like those are probably the ones they throw off the planet. They come here. Like, bum, get out of here. Go to Earth.
You know, kick it with the bums. Kick it with the bums on Earth.
They ain't doing nothing.
They believe in time down there. Oh man, it's awful. But let's head to the thesaurus and see how motivation is given to us in the form of synonyms. And we have one word, as in incentive, something that arouses action or activity. All right. And then we get incentive, we get impetus, encouragement, stimulus, momentum, impulse, reason, boost, catalyst, spur, stimulant, provocation, fuel. What's that? Instigation?
Yeah.
Is that instigation? Yeast. Yeast helped the bread rise. I just made some pizza the other night. It was fun. It was phenomenal. I took the flour, threw the yeast in there with the sugar, the salt, mixed it up, put it in the garage, put the in my wife's cake thing, and it rose right. It was perfect. Came in here. I ain't had no rolling pin. I gotta give me a rolling pin off of Amazon, but I made do with the Yeti bottle. You know what I'm saying? I improvised. You know, just put a little flour on my Yeti and rolled it out, boom, boom, and it was good. Dressed it up, man. Some of the best pizza. I could do a little bit better on my crust. I gotta get my crust game up. But yeah, it was, and it wasn't yeasty. That's okay. But yeah, we got the motive, goad, cause, incitement, shot in the arm. Wow, shot in the arm.
I mean, that's an incentive. That definitely produces an incentive.
That shot in the arm did producing. We just seen a whole pandemic go down with the shot in the arm was producing a lot of motivation for a lot of stuff, right?
You know,
ain't that the truth? All right. Then we got incitation. Is that right? Incitation?
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 Incitation. Yeah, incitation.
Okay. Consideration, inducement, invitation, spark, grounds, and okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Antecedent.
Yeah.
Antecedent. We got occasion and the catalyzer. Any of these stand out to you guys in motivation?
All of them, like it's pretty clear, God. Like what you gonna do? Like, you know, what the old folks used to say, you gonna shit or get off the pot.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like I should have said that. I forgot about that.
You know, they don't like what the old folks say though no more because the old folks ain't get it right. You know,
right?
Yeah, you know, because the young folks know better than the old folks, even though the old folks is winning.
Facts.
the old folks ain't running around saying it ain't no jobs. The old folks ain't running around saying it ain't this and then it ain't that. You know, so I don't know.
I don't know either, God. Nah, I think all this is dope, and I think it all speaks to what we was talking about, right? Like you just can't be no bum.
You just can't be a bum. Stay motivated, right?
Like you just gotta at least want to live, right? Like and that alone should fuel you, should spur something in you. Should be enough reason to go to work, go to school, brush your teeth, wash your face. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should want to eat well. You know, you should want to live well.
I would think, but if somebody else is gonna pick up the slack for you to be a bum, a bum gonna be a bum. I just had that conversation with a family member, and they was asking about people giving, and about family members borrowing, right? Like people calling you and be like, "Hey, can I borrow this?" Because they think you got it.
Yeah.
whether you have it or not. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, why do you think I have it? You know, why do you think
Because they've been following you on social media, guy, and they know.
like, because I'm posting videos with, you know, with
You're a
50-60
superstar.
with 50-60 views. Like,
You post a lot though, so you're a star, like you
uh,
famous.
I just want to know, are they subscribed to the channel? You know, help me get there, you know, before you
Or
start
at
taking.
least are you sharing it?
You know, sharing, are you smashing the like button? Probably not. They probably just looking as mofos.
Mofo. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, so, you know, whatever. Keep on watching. You know what I'm saying? Do we look good, mama? I'm on TV, baby. We looking good. You know, we got good skin looking good, teeth looking good, like it should. All right. I'm motivated, right? So
Definitely.
end of the day, God, what our conversation was about was how um when you are a person and you do give and you have compassion because you have a family, and when that family is calling you, it's just like you do have a good heart, so you like at the end of the day you like, damn, I knew I could have helped them, why I didn't. It's hard trying to implement that tough love sometimes, because you have a conscience of like, damn, you know, if they're gonna be messed up and I knew I could have helped them, you know, you might feel a type of way. And that's why I was just like, you know, so what I do is I try to help now, like, unless it's somebody that I know that is just yeah, you know, then what I try to do is be like, okay, I'm a I'm gonna help you get halfway there, because I'm not your solution. Because I don't want that person to get comfortable thinking that I'm the fixer. Because what happens is when you do that, then they'll do that. They'll keep coming back. And that's what I was explaining to my family member having a conversation, is that what we create being a giver is a person we enable the bumism.
Yeah.
We enable the lack of motivation, because what happens is they don't try to figure out their own problems and get a solution. They'll feel like, okay, well, I just call you and you will fix it.
Because that's their solution.
Because that's their solution. They don't want to put their brain to work to find another solution. They lazy, you know.
I called you. I've been thinking. I figured you would. You got it. You know, like you went to college. You just using the military. You know stuff.
Right. And what I said is like, and then when you keep giving, then you're supporting that. So now what you have is a give and a taker, until you realize that if you in a situation, you can't call them to do nothing for you
At all.
You know. So, you know, some people, and I was fair with it. I was like, and then some people will be like, well, they may not be good at that. You know, that may be their weak point or whatever. But it's just like, well, if they strong suit is some criminal activity or some foolishness, and I'm staying away from that, then I never have nothing to call them for, to be like, hey, you know, I looked out for you. Can you do me this solid? So if you in a position where you giving, why even give where you looking to get something in return? Give because you're gonna give. That's a fake ass giver anyway. That's somebody who thinking, oh, well, I give, like I heard a person say before, you know, man, I give the homeless people something because you don't never know what type of blessing God might do. So you ain't even giving, you know what I'm saying, out the kindness of your heart. You giving and hoping that you gonna get something in return. You know,
that sounds so evil.
You know, it sounds transactional. That's what it.
So transactional.
You know,
does not sound like you really want to give this person something because you got it and can afford to give it away.
That don't sound like faith. That don't sound like I know I'm all right, and and my blessings are gonna keep on coming, regardless of whether I help you or not. You know, regardless of whether I give it to you or not, my blessings still gonna keep coming. You know, and that's where I'm at with it. You know.
But that's what abundance does, though, right? Abundance makes you realize that you're already blessed. and
already.
they're gonna just keep coming. Like you ain't gotta get blessed.
I ain't gotta get blessed, right?
You ain't gotta.
We stay blessed.
We stay blessed.
We stay blessed, you know, and we claiming it, you know, we professing it, and we doing the work too. We not just praying to our maker saying, hey, can you let it drop out the sky? It's like, can you give me the strength to do, the wisdom to guide me, to be motivated, to get there? And then I got to go and be motivated. You know, I got to go and do the work. I got to go and do the 1-2. I got to go and do the knowledge on it. I got to go and get the information and apply it. You know, it ain't like it's just going to fall from the sky. Like I ain't seen nothing fall from the sky but rain and snow. So we got motivation, the act or process of giving someone a reason for doing something, the act or process of motivating someone, the condition of being eager to act or work, the condition of being motivated, a motivating force or stimulus or influence, incentive, and drive. No bum activity. So y'all let us know what y'all think about that definition in the chat or in the comment section below, depending on when you're watching the show. And we're going to go ahead and get into our second question. Does struggle create motivation, or can too much struggle destroy one's motivation?
I think struggle definitely creates motivation, right? Because you 100% got a problem to resolve, right? Like you got a whole hurdle that you have to overcome. Do I think that too much struggle though could take away motivation or destroy motivation?
Destroy motivation.
I think only if you are a bum, right? I think if you are leaning into your bum era and
leaning into your bum era.
No, so like
I love it. Yeah, seriously, yeah. Lean into that bum. And you know, I love that guy because I can't wait. I can't wait to sit back and talk about somebody and be like, they leaning into their bum era right now. That's all they doing. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to do it for real. Like I ain't above it. I'm not above it.
Like I said, I definitely think struggle creates motivation because you have a problem that you have to solve, and every adult, like we have to be problem solvers, especially as men. We have to problem solve, right? But if you have too much struggle and you have the spirit of giving up, right? If you have the spirit of give up, there could be such a thing as too much struggle, right? And I think that a lot of people give up not because it's too much struggle, but I think because they be comparing themselves to other people too much, and it's like that person is handling life better than me, so I should just give up if I can't do it like they doing it. Instead of doing as many push-ups as your arms could handle until you can get stronger, the next day or however it goes, however long it takes for you to get stronger. Like you just do what you can do and just keep surviving in your own lane. But I think that because there's so much social media, so much compare and contrast, that the whole grass is green on the other side is like, man, I ain't got nothing but weeds over here. I got a bunch of brown spots over here. Like it's never, ever, ever work. I'm just, man, F this grass, man. I ain't even gonna water it no more. Right? I ain't even gonna water it no more. Right? I'm not gonna just keep what is green and hope that it grows over and spreads because I done kept it healthy, like it stayed green. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna give up. Like if you got the spirit of give up, like you 100% leaning into your bum era, like That's what I'm saying. Like
the spirit of giving up is leaning into your bum era, right? Hey man, hey, I told you we're gonna come out with a Cigar Sundays dictionary, y'all. I'm telling y'all, you know, we writing this stuff down. I'm telling you, we're gonna go back through all the tapes and get all these cliches and colloquialisms, and I'm telling you, leaning into your bum era, you know, giving up.
Right. So that's what I think. I definitely think it creates motivation, and only a bum could have too much, right? Somebody that want to give up on life, give up on progress, give up on just give up.
No doubt, no doubt. So right now, y'all, we are asking, we on question number 2. Does struggle create motivation, or can too much struggle destroy one's motivation? 2-part question, y'all. Does struggle create motivation? Man, I think it can. I don't always think it does. I think when people lean into the bum era, the giving up thing, that's accurate. I think that's really accurate. That's why I enjoyed it so much. Right. But I do think that it takes a person to identify that they're struggling. A lot of times when we see like I gotta go back to this personal conversation I was having with somebody about credit, with a family member about credit. Like people will go out of their way to have a great job, to go to work, and I explained that this was me. This is how I know. Go to work, have a great career, and be proud of the work that they do at their job, or within their career. Be proud of the accomplishments that they make, but then won't take that same work ethic and apply it to managing their own finances or educating themselves in their own finances. At work, they know all the policies, they know all the this, all the that, but then they get their paycheck and they struggling. And even though it's a decent paycheck, they haven't invested any type of financial literacy into themselves, so that way they can feel just as good about what they do for their employer as they're doing with their compensation for that employment. And I think that's when you have to realize that, you know, that you're struggling with something, and you have to be motivated. And a lot of times people will be excelling in other areas of their life, but they don't know how to apply that same formula to other areas of their life so they can get that same type of reward or that same type of success, you know. So I think that if people identify it, it's cool. But then there's that caveat where the second part of the question is too much what we say is
too much struggle
too much struggle destroying one's motivation. I think, yeah, once a person becomes complacent and it becomes normalized, because then it don't seem like a struggle to them no more. So like, I know this myself, coming from, you know, coming from growing up in urban environment where, you know, it was certain things that I used to do, you know, as a young man, conduct myself, think was cool. All right. That ain't none of that stuff cool to me no more. You know, ain't none of them behaviors, none of that activity. You know, they got new names for it now. You know, when we was young, it was just thugging. It was just, you know, we outside, you know, that like we on the block. That's you know, and that's what we doing. Or we out here, we getting money, we in the streets. And that's what it was. Now it's ratchet, it's, you know, it's turning up. It's so many new cliches or colloquialisms, so many titles that is applied to it, but it's the same thing, you know. So that's not cool to me no more. I say that because I don't get how I see parents wanting to be ratchet, but you would not want that for your child. And when you set that example for your child, then you are saying that, well, if my child grow up to be if I allow my child to grow up to be part of the prison system, then I'm okay with that. So you're accepting that behavior now, and you're setting a stage for that behavior now because you don't want to implement any discipline. You want to be their friend and not their parent, you know? And I see this a lot going on. So to me, that's part of the struggle. I had a family member who was telling me that they was dealing with dead babies, and they was like, they asked their babies to do something, and I paused them and I said, you asked? I said, that's funny. And he was like, why? And I said, because our parents didn't ask us to do a damn thing. You know, like, and he was complaining, you know, about his request not being met. And then he told me that, he said, wow, my mother said the same thing. I was like, yeah, you tripping. I told him right off top, you tripping. I said, but you know, it's your business. It's your babies. You raising your children. I can't tell you how to raise your family. You know what I'm saying? But I think you tripping because, and I said, because this particular family member has been incarcerated. I said, let me ask you something. When you was incarcerated, did they ask you, did you feel like going in your cell? Did they, real talk? Did they ask you, did you feel like going in your cell? Did they ask you, do you feel like getting off the phone when they hung the phone, when they said the phones is not available for use? Did they ask you, are you still hungry when the child line wasn't open and you couldn't you couldn't eat as you wanted to? Matter of fact, did they ask you, did you want the commissary open so you could go shop when you felt like it? Did they ask you any of that? So if you ain't gonna be the one to establish the difference, then don't be upset when they go through that same thing. And now it's the white man or it's the system or whatever it is that you allowed as a parent because you wanted to ask. When in real life, it ain't gonna be no asking. It's gonna be consequences and repercussions for your actions. Okay. So I do think people, you know, lose motivation because they okay to struggle. They okay, and we talking about struggling with, they lose the motivation because they okay with struggling with certain things.
Correct.
You know,
because you made a good point. Like you can be excelling on other aspects of your life and a total bum in this area right here. Right. And that's important, right? Like we ain't necessarily talking about, again, we ain't talking about homeless people, right? Like we talking about characteristics and character traits, right? And when you have a whole problem that you just choose not to address for whatever reason, right? Even if you think the reason is a good reason, right? Like you still gotta acknowledge the choices that you make and live with that, right? Like, because even with the family member, right? Like gentle parenting ain't a problem until you start complaining about it.
Facts. And that's complaining. And that's why I said, like, okay, well, you complain about it, so it's a problem. You know,
it's cool until you start complaining about it. Once
right.
you start complaining about it, then okay, this sounds like a problem, right? But do you? But don't complain about it to me. And
because I ain't gonna lie to you.
Nah, like,
because we both as grown men now, all right, made mistakes in our youth, right? We've been fortunate enough to be here. You know, he did some time, things like that, right? Okay. But at the end of the day, we still are gonna be held accountable to the same things that if them babies go out there and they mess up, they got to sell for them just like they got to sell for us. Okay. So if you know better, then why you don't teach them better, and why you don't demand better and allow yourself to be the bad guy? You know what I'm saying? Because if you the bad guy and you providing everything, when it's time to go school shopping, when it's daddy, I need this, when it's daddy, I need that, when it's daddy, I need this, and daddy, they don't think of you as the bad guy. They not responding to your acts. And did you still not? Was it a consequence? Did they not get what they wanted for school? Did they not give it the is it any extracurricular activities that's cut off? Is it any this, that? Is there any consequence? Well, if it ain't no consequence, then just like anybody else, they're gonna be like, well, shit, I ain't getting in trouble for it. So they're gonna keep on doing it. But you're teaching that behavior. You're encouraging that behavior because you're not setting a standard. You know, and I said, I'm just sharing that with you because you complaining to me about it.
to me.
To me. Somebody else may say, well, you got to let kids be kids. That's a person that don't want to discipline their children at all. You know, that because there's a difference between allowing the children to explore and be, you know, and be kids, but then when they breaking rules and stuff like that, that's not good. Okay, it's supposed to be some type of structure to that, allowing children to be children. It's not when you hearing that they breaking rules and they doing stuff they ain't supposed to be doing. Okay, it's gonna be kids. Nah, because if the police get involved, then guess what? The law is gonna be the law, right? The police gonna be the police, right? But if we are practicing, don't give a reason instead of now you do something and everybody want to act like it's not that serious, but then the laws don't treat it like it's not that serious and they prosecuting to the full extent of the law. Then guess what happens? Now who looking stupid? Who looking stupid?
Willie Love. Yeah.
You know, and we don't never want to look stupid. When did looking stupid become cool? Why are we not looking at that as that's looking stupid and that's not cool?
You said, when did looking stupid become cool? I would say World Star.
World Star? You might be on to something. Looking stupid became cool. World Star. Oh man, shout out to World Star Hip Hop, man. I used to go in there and watch stupid stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I thought about it.
Keep it a buck. I used to go in there and watch stupid stuff. But y'all let us know, does struggle create motivation, or can too much struggle destroy one's motivation? Moving to question number 3, which do you think is the best form of motivation? Fear, self-reflection, or comparison, and why?
So the question is, which do I think is the best form of motivation?
Based on the question.
Yeah. So for Ali specifically, is definitely self-reflection.
Self-reflection. Okay.
I always have to be able to be able to look in the mirror with my eyes closed and still be able to see my face.
Say that right again, bro.
Right, like that's a practice that I practice, just to keep myself in check, just to make sure that I am actually actively looking at myself, right, and not just saying the words, right? Like it's something that I actually practice. I go in the bathroom, stand in front of the mirror, turn the lights off. You know I'm looking at the mirror, close my eyes, and I try to see my face. I try to imagine my face, what I'm looking at, what I'm wearing, all that stuff, right? It's fun, right? That's for me, right? Like I like to be correct. I like to I don't like to be right, but I like to be
one more time. Remember, one more time.
I like to be correct.
I like to be correct, not right.
I don't want to be like right is cool, but I like to be correct.
Correct.
Right. So if I need to be corrected, right, correct me. Right. And for the most part, I don't even necessarily care how you corrected me if I'm incorrect? Like if I'm wrong, like fix me, goddamn. Like
it's motivation, right?
because I don't
It's
want
a
to. I
it's a
don't want to
good
get
look.
wrong.
It's saying you could get in trouble for this.
You can get hurt. It's not
You could
safe.
get hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's saying, yeah, it's like it's looking out for you.
Correct. Right.
Some dummies don't get that though, God. Dummies don't get that. You know,
For the
some people think you're trying
I
to tell them.
also think though, like that's me specifically. Me specifically, I need self-reflection, right? And while I'm thinking about that and thinking about myself, um, I think that there's a great deal of fear in that self-reflection, right? Like I'm scared to death of falling short, right? Of not having enough, of not doing enough, of any of my children or my dependents, be it my wife, my grandchildren, my brother, somebody that needs something from me, and I just don't have it because I fell short, right? Or I'm not able to because I fell short. Like that's like that fear motivates me, and I think that for the great majority, fear is the overarching motivator, right? Because you know they don't want to lose their job. They do want to be in a better house. They worried about their spouses or their partners uh, leaving them for somebody better, making more money, that looks better, or whatever the societal standard is that they trying to follow, right? Um, I think that I think even the commercials that we watch, I think is all fear based and fear driven, trying to make you think that you're not happy enough until you buy this product, right? Like you got to improve your life, because you don't want to be left out because everybody else got this. You can't be, you don't want to be the one that the only odd duck that's not wearing the latest and greatest, and what they had on the commercial. I think that they use fear um, to motivate the best. Right. I think the majority of people um, are lazy and don't self-reflect and need that fear, need that fire under their ass to make them uh, walk, right? Because the fire that might be coming isn't enough to actually meet the whole flame, right? And so I think that the great majority needs that fear. But again, for me, self-reflection, but I think the great majority is definitely fear driven. That's what I got.
Fear driven, no doubt. Um, y'all let us know, y'all. We on question number 3. What do you think is the best form of motivation? Fear, self-reflection, or comparison? Um, man, out of the 3, God, um, I'm definitely going with individually, self-reflection, but I like all 3. Okay, the self-reflection, I'm right there with you. Um, I look at the self-reflection like the learning lessons. Where can I, how you always say on Instagram, y'all can follow BK Soul Farm on IG. Link is in the description. The guy always says we have another day to be the best version of ourselves. And the only way that I can be a better version of myself than I was yesterday is to self-reflect on what I did yesterday, on the person that I was, on my actions, on my interactions, on every level. Okay. So that self-reflection from what I did yesterday helps me say, okay, did I make some mistakes? Did I learn some things? Did I prepare for some stuff for tomorrow? Did it it allows me to have this whole self checklist to be able to go through and make sure that I'm checking off all these boxes. The fear is, then I move to the fear. The fear, I agree, is like, I never want to be broke ever again. Ever again.
I'm scared to death of that shit, bro.
You know, scared. I'm allergic to broke. Claustrophobic of broke. You know, terrified, petrified. Like, I don't fear death, but I fear being broke. Real talk. You know, so I'm just like, that is number one motivation, you know, like a motivational tool. And then comparison as well, because I look at comparison not in a jealousy type of way. When I compare, I say, am I doing the best? Am I being the best version of myself that I could be? Because see, I get motivated seeing other people winning. I'm not a hater.
That's true too.
You know,
that's true too.
Like I hate on dumb stuff. You know, so I am a hater in that way. Like, if you're doing something stupid or something that's ignorant, something that don't make, that's something that's just like, you probably know better, but then you maybe you don't. You know what I'm saying?
You should though.
You know, but you should though. Then yeah, I'm gonna hate on that because it's not beneficial to nobody. You know, and like I just hate, you know what I'm saying, people who don't add to the environment in a positive way. You know, like, if the environment is better than where we came from, let's make it better. Let's strive to make it better. Let's not strive to bring the hood to Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Unless we shooting a film, you know, for real. Like, if not, then it's supposed to be up from here, and like we keep going up. So I hate on stuff like that, you know, because I came from that. And it's not that I haven't turned my back on none of my friends, you know, that still are in love with the struggle. But I have set a new standard of just like, I'm not going to come kick it with you because I don't participate in the same things that you do. You can come kick it with me because when you come kick it with me, I'm in a whole different environment that ain't going to be dealing with none of that foolishness. So, and it's safer for me because I can have control over it.
It's actually safe.
Yeah. You know, so in my comparisons, when I see people that I think have something that is better, whether it is part of their moral character, how they conduct themselves, you know, then I do make a comparison. I say, and I used this the other yesterday on the Love Speak. I spoke highly of you, like I always do. My brother is married for 30 years. That is something that I admire. Okay, that is something that I aspire. That is something that motivates me. All right, that is something that if I was going through something in my marriage, I would call this brother, even if he ain't 50 years older than me, 20 years older than me. He got that experience. Okay. And in my comparison, it's a comparison of thinking my brother may have went through the same type of problem. Let me call and pick his brain. So I'm able to grow from that by having that and by not looking at it saying, oh, well, 30 years, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like pissing on it. Like I value it. You know?
That don't mean he happy though.
You're right. Oh, they've been together 30. That don't mean he happy. That don't mean that you know, wishing bad. Like that's so corny, guy. And that's just so, you know, like that's bum activity. So that's why I'm like, you know, comparison is good if you aspire, if you see something that is of value, in my opinion, is a value that you say, you know what, I can learn from that. That's going to help me be a better version of myself. That's going to help me with my situation. That's going to help me grow. And I'm comparing the fact that I'm not there. That's it. You know, And I'll take it to another experience, you know, like if somebody own a home, okay, and I desire to own a home. My comparison is I don't own a home, they do. I want to do that. I am comparing myself to them. I don't own one and they do. So do I have the ability to say, let me learn and let me call them and ask, hey, you've been owning your home for so long, you know, is there anything you could tell me about home ownership, blah, blah, blah? It's probably going to be so much stuff that person going to be able to tell them and share with them by them not being jealous, by them not saying, oh, well, you know, well, yeah, you own a home, but it ain't, you know, you ain't got your front yard done. You ain't got no this, or you ain't got your backyard, or, you know, stupid shit. You ain't got no fence, like just stupid stuff that
you ain't got solar panels.
You ain't got solar panels. You know what I mean? Like just stupid stuff that just makes it so low frequency, low vibrational, jealousy. You know, nothing that is of elevating and motivating. Nothing is saying I want to be motivated because I can. If I made it this far, I can get there too, you know, but I got to do the work. That don't mean that you can't make a comparison to yourself and allow somebody to give you the game, because we are taught every single thing as humans.
Facts.
So even if I go on YouTube and look up a video, I was self-determined to learn how to do this thing, but I still needed to go, and I feared that I would mess up on it. I feared that I would mess up on it because I'm not skilled enough to do it. So what did I do? I compared myself to the person on the YouTube video who is more skilled than I am, because I'm less skilled, and I watched what they did, and then I took my time and I ended up doing the same thing because of the self-determination, the fear, and the comparison. Put them all in the box, and I was motivated to get that project done. And then I could stand back and look at and say, look at me, look what you did.
Because you did it. You did it.
Look what you did. You got that done. And you took all these things that we would demonize, fear. You took except for the self-reflection, that's the positive, but you took that positive and you took them to them comparison things, and you know,
it's positive if you're not a bum.
And it's positive if you're not a bum, right? Yeah. And you said, I'm gonna throw it in here and I'm gonna make this Molotov and we're gonna set it on fire and we're gonna be lit. You know? But that seems so difficult for people to do. That's why I love we do this, so we get to get this off. You know, we get to get this off. Like, have you ever thought about thinking about it like that way? Have people ever thought about thinking about it that way? You know, or are they trapped? Is their brain on freeze? Is it like they ate the slushy, the icy, and it's just like, ugh, and they just stuck on it? Just stuck on brain freeze. Cat in the hat. Can't get back. You know? I don't know, God, but
it's bad out here, God.
You know, but that's what I think is the best form of motivation, the self-reflection, you know, but I think you got to put them all in the pot. I think that because when I saw this question, God, I was like, oh, wow, fear and comparison. I was like, oh, man, that's kind of, damn, we should be motivated from fear. Yeah, I guess if I'm thinking where I'm going to go with this. Like, I seen the hurricane, we both been in hurricanes and stuff. Yeah. And you like, well, you fear so you try to go get all of the milk, bread, and eggs.
On land and at sea, actually.
On land and at sea, so it's like you feel like, okay, well, you got the hurricanes, do you go and prepare for the French Toast Convention? That never happens. When the storm comes, everybody go buy the milk, bread, and eggs, like they having a French Toast Convention. But I never been invited, But and that was like with my friend. But then I'm just like, comparison though, like comparison is only negative if you hating on somebody.
Correct.
You know, if you saying like, man, that's fresh, that's fly. I don't got that. I want to, you know, where you get them shoes from, man, so I can go get me a pair. You might be comparing your man, them jeans, the way you know, if a young lady, you know, when young ladies look at each other with the makeup, girl, who beat your face? You know what I'm saying? My makeup don't be that good. It's not hating. It's only hating if you comparing like, oh, she got this a whole pile of makeup on, like, you know what I'm saying? So comparison ain't negative all the time. It's just the user of it. Y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section or the chat, depending on where you're watching this at. Moving to our question number 4. Is internal motivation or somebody believing in you more powerful?
That's deep, right? So just recently, God, I discovered the difference, that there is a difference between joy and happiness, right? And I found out that joy is internal and happiness is external, right? So when I think about that, and I put it to this question, which is more powerful, you believing in yourself or somebody else believing in you? I think that we 100% live in a society that preaches pull yourself up by bootstraps, but it's all about likes, clicks, and views, and the numbers have it. It's all about the algorithm, right? So to me, happiness weighs more, right? Having your surroundings, the people that you're surrounded by, support you or believe in you or give you good words, is more motivating than folks telling themselves that they are enough to accomplish what they need for themselves. I think for me personally, like, internal motivation is good enough because, see, I don't know, because a lot of my internal motivation is about providing, right? So, I am thinking about other people the whole time, right? So, um, and if those other people uh, uh, bellies are empty, then my happiness is impeded, right? So I need them to be squared away in order yeah. So that's even more evidence that happiness is more, right? Because even for myself, my joy is easy for me, but I need my surrounding to be balanced as well. So I'm gonna say that external, people believing in you is more powerful, right? I think people get more juice. That's why personal trainers are so plentiful, right? That's why so many people cheat with their personal trainers, right? Because this person is telling them all the stuff that they just don't believe when they tell themselves, right? And this person fits the appearance of somebody that they want to be attracted to them, right? Yeah, that's what I think.
No doubt, no doubt. Shout out Texas Taurus in the building. We smoking motivation tonight. That's what we smoking on. And
Texas Taurus, peace, God.
And we answering our number 4th question: is internal motivation or somebody believing in you more powerful? God, you said something real important. Well, you said a whole lot of important stuff, but something that just stuck out the most to me. That we have this cultural thing of pull yourself up by your own bootstraps.
Yeah, that's that American,
right? But we that's what's said
with the mouth.
With the mouth, but what's promoted is get a good job.
Yes.
So that's what makes the somebody else yeah. That's what makes the somebody else believing in you valid. to become powerful. That's what gives the power to somebody else believing in you, because become an entrepreneur will be internal motivation.
Internal motivation.
You know, follow your dreams would be internal motivation. Now, if following your dream is, I want to be a doctor, but you don't want to have your own practice, maybe you want to do something working for people, you know, like, yeah, that's cool. You know, if you want to be a scientist and you want to go work for NASA and NOAA and all that good stuff, cool, no problem. You know,
Yeah.
right? But those things are still internal motivation, because I want to be a scientist.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go, and then it's not having those people believing in you. That is your own internal motivation, saying, I want to get to this point because, you know, I want my name to go down in the history books of something. You know, I want to create a new discovery, cure a disease. That's an internal motivation. You know, and you had to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps to do that. You didn't necessarily have to, you know, finish at the bottom of the class to go get a job. You know, for somebody else to believe in you. That's saying like, okay, well, I'm going to just skate by, and as long as I can get a job and I can feed my family, then I'm cool. That's why I think that leaves that, in that scenario, it leaves that somebody else believing in you. But
yeah.
But I truly think that internal motivation is more powerful, because like I said, some important things you said. You said, I provide. I'm a provider. You don't need nobody else to validate you doing that, because you are internally motivated to get up and do whatever it takes to make that happen, regardless of any situation you got going on. That runs your clock, making sure, and coming from any type of struggle that you ever had, you don't want to go through them struggles no more. That's what I was just sitting here talking about with our last question. Like, I fear being broke. Terrified. Horrified. More than death. You know, give me death before you give me, I don't know where I'm going to get it from. Real talk.
Because now you're talking about slavery, right? You get locked up. That's
yeah, like that ain't no good feeling for me at all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never waiting on no check to hit. You know what I'm saying? We did that already.
Way back.
Way back in the day.
Way back.
You know what I'm saying? So we ain't never waiting on no balance to get on no bank accounts. We ain't never doing, we covered. But that internal motivation from that, you know, like, and I go back to it, when I went through that, somebody else was motivating me to do a good job for my employer. And I was so excited. I was so happy with myself that I was doing this amazing, that I was managing the government's money to the penny. And when I turned in them reports, you know, those auditors would be like, man, we wish everybody's reports was like yours, you know, like, I'm so proud of that. And I'm going home, and I ain't even got gas in the car. I gotta go to a payday loan place to get gas in my car to have a weekend. I did that.
But they books though.
But I'm gonna get paid again. The check gonna come. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't. I ain't gonna be able to do nothing with it, because I spent it 2 weeks, 2, 3, 4 last month. You know,
it's been
spent. You know, so now I got to get out the hole. I got the credit cards. I got to pay. I'm swamped. You know, and I'm just like, it was my internal motivation to say, I don't want to be going through that no more. You know, and a lot of people will see where you at now and don't realize like you may be in that space. But just because I don't look 50, don't mean that I ain't got them years of experience.
Facts.
So while you trying to guess how do this person acts? Because if you ask now, then you will be better off when you get to my age. Or you could just be a hater and, like you say, watch me win in your face.
Because I'm going to win.
Because I'm going to win.
And if you're looking at as mofo, you going to watch.
You going to see me.
You going to see.
And I'm going to do it with a smile every single time. You know what I'm saying?
And I might be singing probably.
I might even be singing. You know, you might catch me singing. I do that sometimes. You catch me in the garage sometimes. Just you know what I'm saying? Working in the yard, I might just be singing a song. You know, real talk. You know, I smile because I'm happy. I smile because I'm free.
Ain't that right?
You know, so I think that internal motivation can be more powerful if you know how to tap into it. If you're a person that says, you know what, I need this regardless of what anybody else think. I need to have this, and this is a priority in my life, and I need to make sure that I am maintaining this and prioritizing this and doing whatever it takes for this to happen. And nobody else is doing that for you, because it don't matter what somebody else can. Pearl come along, hey Ali, you want to go? Nah, I can't do that. Like, can't do that, bro. Like, why you even? Are you okay, Pearl? Why you asking me stuff like that? You should know I can't do nothing like that. You know? Then you gotta look at me side eye, like, why would you even come at me with something like that? You know, that's not my character. That's not what I'm doing. That's not what we into. I gotta stay focused. So another thing is surrounding yourself with people. Now, when we talk about somebody else but believing in you to empower you, well, what about the other people who believe in the empowerment that you have and want to support that and want to help build that? You know, because we look at it's two sides of it. People needing approval or people needing validation. And then we saying people just need a team, motivation, inspiration, saying, yeah, let's keep going. We don't care.
Oh, you tripped? That's okay.
You know,
brush your knees off. Let's go.
Brush yourself off.
Let's go. Let's keep going.
It happens.
Yep.
Ain't nobody perfect. What did you learn? Somebody reassuring, making sure. Did you learn something? You learn what not to do, right? Okay. If you learn what not to do, but you allow yourself. Now, if you allow yourself to do it again, then you the dummy.
Did you learn?
Did you really learn? Or do you not care? And then if there's a consequence to it and you're not caring, then you can't blame nobody but yourself. Nobody but yourself. Because nobody put you in that situation but you.
And that's why I don't like playing with those terms like YOLO and stuff like that, because while it sounds fun and it sounds cool and just trendy, like you'll actually trick yourself into saying F it. You only live once, and just start doing dumb stuff by accident, right? Just trying to be funny and trendy, when in reality is like you want to maximize this life you have. Because you only live once.
You only live once, right, Einstein? You know? It's crazy, guys. It's great. It's super crazy, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got Dr. Mo in there talking about they believe in time down there, right? That's what the aliens saying, right? They believe in time down there, you know? Because they did say that that people used to live, you know, in the biblical days. They said Moses was like what, 900 or something like that.
Yeah.
you know, so I would have to believe that during them times, if all that's real, you know, that they didn't believe in time, and that's how that was the only way. It was no concept of time to be able to live that long. You know, you had the sun up and sundown. So sun up, sundown. That's it. Don't nobody know what o'clock it is or none of that. You know, that's the only way.
Now, if I didn't see the sun come up or go down, is it still the same day?
Maybe not. Maybe you slept through it.
That's what I'm saying, guys.
So you gained another day. Like I was asleep.
I was asleep. That's not my day.
That's not yesterday. And psychologically, I'm like, nope, I missed the day. You know what I'm saying? I missed a couple of sunrises and a moonrise. So guess what? You know, you've been up for 5 days. I only been up for 3.
I've only been up for 3 days.
You know, and who knows if they celebrated birthday? When did the birthday cake get invented? You know, where we had to celebrate the birthday, where we had to acknowledge this is the day that you was born, you know? So I'm just thinking like, yeah, you know, we acknowledging time down here, and that's the reason probably why it feels so short. Shout out to Texas Tours 9271. He says, I'm new. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you popping up and rocking with us tonight, Texas Tours. We love to you too as well, and peace and all that good stuff, positivity and prosperity, you know. But yeah, we smoking on motivation, and we got Trayvell Austin in the building. Hey! Shout out to you too. You know, peace to you. We glad everybody done pulled up. So yeah, y'all let us know what y'all think of in the comment section. Is internal motivation or somebody believing in you more powerful? You know, we know everybody has their own opinion on it, like we do. We just exchanging insights, y'all. But we're curious to know what you think. And yeah, we respond to all the comments, even if it's in the live chat or it's in the comment section below, depending on when you're watching the show. We also ask you to please smash that like button, y'all. It helps us get this content in front of more beautiful people like y'all. A little thumbs up never help nobody on the side of the road. And that's all right. So we are going to get into before we come back and get to our fifth and final question, we're going to jump into the flavor bombs.
Flavor Bombs, presented to you by DBCHEFTV.
So we got 3 flavor bombs tonight, y'all, as always. Number 1, Secret Service is cracking down on card skimming. A lot of scamming going on out there, and interesting news video, news clip, and we just want to help some people get informed to motivate y'all to you know, be a little bit more careful when you're going into these stores using your card, since we going digital so much, you know. Then we got number 2, y'all. Sad story, but it's real. It's what's going on. A lot of these immigrations and deportations and stuff going on right now, and it's something that I don't think people are very mindful of. But when you have immigrants and people that come from other countries who don't have permanent status, they have children here. That's what that bill, that birth right bill was trying to curtail, the birthright citizenship bill to be exact. But this is what we're seeing from it. We see children being left behind after their parents are being deported. These children are American citizens because they were born here like you and me. And but now their parents have to go back. So we're gonna talk about that, check out that story, and then we're gonna head to a very eye-opening story, tragic. But we have a teacher that emotionally expressed his students can't read or write. And yeah, we're gonna just chop it up a little bit about that too, y'all. So
his own students?
Yeah, his own students. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Yeah, his own students, guys.
You're watching a crime in progress. Did you see it? It takes less than 2 seconds for this suspect to install a skimming device on a credit and debit card reader, a crime the U.S. Secret Service says is on the rise.
How you doing, sir? My name is Vince Porter. I work for the Secret Service.
Agents gave CBS News exclusive access as they conducted a skimmer sweep at hundreds of retailers across Los Angeles.
How much money do these scammers get from each of these skimmers?
It's believed they can get up to $1 million out of one of these devices.
They snap perfectly on top of credit card terminals and ATMs, collecting account information and personal identification numbers every time someone swipes a card.
We got one.
Analyst Vince Porter spotted this one right away.
But take a close look. It is very hard to tell. It's even got the holographic security sticker on there. This is actually a credit card skimmer here.
And it's placed so securely, agents have to pry it off. Porter showed us the sophisticated miniature electronics hidden inside, including a wireless transmitter.
Every time I go to one of them things, God, I always pull on it real hard.
Yeah.
I always, at the grocery store and everything. As a matter of fact, I pulled on one so hard one time I pulled it off the thing. I thought I broke it, but you know, but I don't trust them things for nothing.
Dang.
You know, and I don't like tap to pay. I'm so not a tap to pay person. You know, I'm just so not a tap to pay person. You know, but I pull on them things. You know, I pull on them things hard for real.
That's crazy.
So the criminals don't even have to come to the store to retrieve it. They can just come outside and get the information from it.
True.
And you don't know how long this has been here.
No, not at all.
Since 2024, the Secret Service has removed what they say is just a fraction of them, 637 skimmers nationwide in operations like this one. Investigators say criminals often steal food assistance funds through so-called EBT cards, taxpayer money distributed to needy families. Recovering those stolen benefits is nearly impossible given the number of agencies involved.
I can't even pay my rent.
Mary Bowen had all of her benefits stolen just last week. Money she uses to help feed and house her 6 kids.
Literally, I've been getting food from my friends because I didn't have it. They took everything. They took it all from me.
A CBS News investigation found more than 30 active federal probes spanning 15 states. The Secret Service estimates this crime costs more than $1 billion every year.
The Secret Service tells us when they see these signs, they know stores like these are a target. They've got EBT written all over there. It draws the customers in, but it also draws criminals.
That's because every month a single card can receive thousands of dollars from multiple federal and state programs.
Food stamps, maybe Section 8 housing payments, all of that goes on the same card.
Correct. Yes. It's a one-stop crime.
And that's how this crime impacts all Americans.
Even if they're not stealing your money, you might have paid for this with your taxes.
Exactly. There's no doubt.
So the best way to keep your money safe is to pay by tapping your phone or your card and never swipe it if you can avoid it. The problem with EBT cards is that most of them are swipe only. The Secret Service tells us international organized crime rings are often behind these schemes. Some scammers cross the border illegally. They tell me they even caught one trying to get into the U.S. from Canada on a jet ski. Carter Evans, CBS News, Los Angeles.
That's wild, God.
That's wild. Yo, I'm pro violence on those people, bro. Like I hate, like, man, people are already struggling. Like we already don't have enough. Like what we do have is already tainted and poisoned. And then you got these low lives just coming over that's here, that's just taking from people that ain't got. And I'm saying, like, why they not going to go to steal from the billionaires and millionaires and the people that really got it, right? Like, why they going?
What happened to Robin Hood, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to Robin Hood? Like,
and the Prince of Thieves, like, you know.
Oh, we got the Prince of Low Life is what we got, and everybody want to be a low life, right? You know, and be dirty. Just, it's just horrible, man. Like, I don't like that.
Yeah, it seemed like you got to stay out the hood too. That, like, that's what it seemed like that they targeting, where they take EBT at, but they take it at the grocery stores too. You know, EBT is taking a lot more places.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that they just put it on like little corner stores, bodegas, hood shops. But because that's where it would seem like where, and then they showed the sister with 6 children, you know, on assistance. And it's like, okay, is this who you're saying is the target group? In that article, are they saying that it's just EBT? You know, are they look?
It sounded like he was saying whatever swipeable is the target, and it's.
But he said use your EBT cards is where the most is where the
because they swipeable and they not tappable is what
and they
saying.
not tappable, right?
Yeah.
So EBT cards are being targeted the most, and it's in places like that.
Yeah,
you know. So it is to what you said, like it's foul because it seems like that they're targeting the most destitute citizens of America, you know, are the people who need the assistance.
And it's not people that's from over here, like it's people that's from that's overseas that's targeting. And it's like, come on, son, you came all the way over here to target poor people, right? Like what kind of come up is that? Like our poor people are so rich compared to your poor. Like, come on, son, like that is insane.
It is insane.
It's insane.
It is insane, but let's look at it like this. Woo, you said something, God.
It's the truth.
You said something, God. You said something. You said something, right? But how are the poor class society treated in America overall? So if I'm a criminal in another country, and I'm looking at that example, then it may be fair to say, even though it's wrong, that they may say, well, if we target them, nobody will care.
Yeah.
But you're wrong. Now you got the criminals.
The Secret Service is involved.
The Secret Service is involved. Okay.
I didn't even know they did that, guys.
Yeah. Anything that has to do with a Federal Reserve note, the Secret Service is the police that's coming to get you. Anything that has to do with $1, the Secret Service is the prosecutor. Everything. Yeah. Anything that has to do with $1 is Secret Service. Yeah. And that's why a lot of them crimes be federal. That's why that's why a lot of those state charges that are fraud, and when they become grand larceny or something like that, electronic fraud and stuff like that, the Fed picks it up because the Secret Service who says, oh no, you taxation without representation, baby. We got to get ours. You know,
that's fine.
That's fine right there. You got to pay up, you got to ante up. You know, we're gonna kidnap you, fool, and put you and get that sweat equity about you.
Man, they mean it. They say it out loud.
What was that Dipset song? I really mean it. But you know, that's why I ain't dealing with no scammers, man. That's why we don't promote that type of activity, man. No scamming and boosting and all that, you know, because it hurts people, and then you know you go to jail and do not pass go. Shout out Lovely ATV in the building. What's up, bud?
What up? What up?
Two teenagers suddenly on their own. 19-year-old Dulce Zepeda left to cook and care for her 13-year-old sister Maria after their parents were deported. When we first met the girls in April, they were living alone in a Fort Worth apartment. Dulce suddenly forced to be a stand-in mom.
You never know whenever is the last hug that you're going to have from your parents. You don't know. You never know how stressful and hard life it is without them.
Their world changed in an instant last August when the family went back to school shopping at a Walmart in Burleson. ICE tells us Burleson police arrested the girl's mother, Daisy Munoz, for suspected shoplifting. The police department provided us only portions of the police report, saying the case is still under investigation. It lists suspected stolen items. Munoz tells us she and her husband just forgot about some items at the bottom of their cart and then tried to pay. The incident eventually landed them in ICE custody. The girls said goodbye in the store parking lot.
Hugged me and told me to take care of my sister, take care of her, and she really loved me. And no matter what, just taking care of her because she was her little daughter, you know?
After about 40 days, she says her parents were deported, leaving her to raise her sister, getting her to school on time while working at a Fort Worth McDonald's and selling her mother's jewelry, she says, to help cover the rent. The girls communicating with their mom in Honduras over video calls.
What I want to know is, why is the case still open if they done deported them already? And how is that case still under investigation? Like, if they deported them already? You know, that's something that I'm just like, that really doesn't make sense to me. If they said that they locked them up, if the police came in and the reason why they had the interaction with law enforcement in the first place is because of suspected shoplifting, then they're already deported. Why is that even a case? Why would they even tell the news, oh yeah, the case is still under investigation? For what? Who they gonna charge? They don't even have nobody to charge, and the people already done got kicked out the country.
They'll go get them and lock them up.
They're gonna bring them back and put them on state charges for petty theft.
and then redeport them again.
And then redeport them again. It's wild work.
Their mother tells us she repeatedly told ICE she wanted to take the girls with her. But Munoz says ICE told her that wasn't possible unless she wanted to spend at least 4 or 5 additional months in a detention center. Munoz says she has high blood pressure and feared her health would deteriorate. The girls are U.S. citizens. Let
me ask you something, God. High blood pressure or not, would you have left, or would you took the 4 months?
Taking the 4 months.
Taking the 4 months. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get none of this, God. Like, I'm confused how these little girls are U.S. citizens.
They was born here. Their parents came here, and they never got TPS.
I'm confused why their accents are so thick if they was born here. I'm confused why they ain't got no furniture in their house. Like that look like they wasn't living well here. Like they wasn't taking advantage of this opportunity, or I don't know. Like I got a bunch of. I don't think anybody should enter any country illegally. I don't think nobody should overstay their welcome. I think if you want to get a better life for you and your family, then you need to do whatever it is that you need to do for that place to make it safe for y'all, right? Like stories like this, I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't feel bad for people making choices and putting themselves and their children in harm's way, and then wanting somebody else to fix their problem for them, talking about it's not fair, right? Like, what's not fair is your parenting skills is not fair. Like, it's not fair to me that I gotta now take care of your problem, right? Because if these children are children, you know, who's taking care of them? Like, who's paying these bills, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't like none of this stuff, man. Like I get it. Like, you know, where people come from is horrible, but it can't be horrible enough to go drop your child off somewhere and then leave them.
See, we seen this. I feel you, God, but we're seeing something in our lifetime that we thought could happen, but we didn't know that it would happen. It was like one of them things where it's just like, okay, where it may not happen, because we know we have first generation and second generation.
Yeah.
You know, like people come to a country and, you know, they're the first generation. My mother's from, you know, Jamaica. My dad is from St. Lucia. Okay. So then, like, now I'm born here. All right. So they came here, they working, they blah, blah, blah. Okay. And now I'm American. But it never was the realization that they could be deported. Only if they committed a crime, right? A serious crime.
Yeah.
You know, so
I'm mad if they crime was only that shoplifting. Like I don't like that.
Right, you know, that shows like, you know, because if they was in New York, like that wouldn't have, nobody even would have called the police on
it. Said toilet paper on there, guy. Like
I saw that, you know, it was basic household necessities, and that's
air freshener, like,
and that's what went to that whole looking at them living in a home with no furniture, like just on the floor with, you know. And maybe they could have went inside one room. They, you know, I think that was staged. I think it was like, go in this room.
That looks staged to me is what I'm saying. That's what my question meant. Not, I don't care how people live, but
right.
That looks staged to me. Like that didn't look like somebody that's that just looks staged. Like
yeah, but actually seeing this, we're now seeing this happen in real life. So, you know, since we smoking on the word motivation, we got to throw it in there. What is the motivation now? You know, like I'm sure the young girl, the 19-year-old girl, I'm sure now through this trauma and this experience, she should be motivated to say, I'm going to do whatever I can to, you know, be successful. So that way I can give my sister a good life. Okay. And we can be able to live to where we can go see our parents. We can afford to go see our parents from time to time because we're American citizens, you know? And like you even said with the thick accent, okay, a lot of times that is if you only hang with your friends, like, you know how communities be, like it's a whole little Haiti.
I think that's crazy.
It's a whole little
I think that's crazy.
It's a whole little Havana.
Like what's the motivation for you leaving where you came from to come over here and retain all your differences over like that's not trying to be American, right? Like that's not you trying to fit in or you trying to assimilate or you trying to do whatever. That's you trying to take it. If in Ali's vision, right? That's just you just trying to, you know, get in where you fit in and take advantage. Like I don't get it, but I guess, you know, you just be around all your same people and you just talk like that, and no public school, nowhere.
You know.
All right.
Legally entitled to remain in the U.S. But when we met them, the family was trying to save enough money for a plane ticket for Maria to travel to Honduras as she desperately missed her mom. What do you think about the future? What would you like to have happen?
To go visit my mom and dad.
That's your dream right now?
We are leaving children vulnerable in deeply precarious and uncertain situations.
Zain Lakhani says thousands of U.S. citizen children have been caught up in the immigration crackdown. She studies immigration issues at the nonprofit Women's Refugee Commission. NBC5 investigates analyzed government data the University of Washington obtained through a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit. It shows at least 8,889 parents with U.S. citizen children were detained by ICE in just the first 7 months of the new Trump administration. The records make it difficult to determine how many U.S. citizen children those parents had, but the records suggest the number is between 12 and 15,000 kids in 7 months.
Just to put that in context, that means 50 U.S. citizen children a day experienced the arrest, detention, potential deportation of one of their parents. 50 a day.
And Lakhani says those kids are now at more risk because the Trump administration changed some language in what's called the ICE Detained Parents Directive. She says that directive used to require ICE to help parents facilitate plans for their children before deportation. But the new directive requires ICE to facilitate only when operationally feasible. Lakhani says that allows ICE to prioritize the need for speedy deportations ahead of arrangements for children, which can result in more parents leaving without their kids.
So this is, in my view, very much a new family separation crisis.
In a statement, an ICE spokesperson told us ICE does not separate families. Parents are asked if they want to be removed with their children, or ICE will place the children with a safe person the parent designates. We asked ICE about Dulce and Maria Zepeda and their mother's claims that ICE would not help reunite her with her children without extended time in detention. The agency did not answer those questions. In a statement, ICE confirmed agents arrested Munoz in August of last year, referring to her as a criminal alien due to the suspected shoplifting incident. The statement went on to say, under President Trump and Secretary Mullen, criminal illegal aliens are not welcome in the United States. In recent weeks, Maria's wish finally happened. The family was able to buy a plane ticket and obtain a Honduran visa for her to reunite with her parents in a country she's never seen.
That's crazy. That's super crazy, God. You know what I was thinking though? You know what?
I was thinking a lot.
You know, I mean, we laughing, but that's to keep from crying, y'all. Trust me. But you know, I don't have no babies. I might adopt some ICE kids. You think there's gonna be a bunch of ICE kids for adoption? I might adopt some ICE kids.
Adopt some ICE kids.
It sounds funny, though. You know what I'm saying? I might have to talk to my wife, see if she want to adopt some ICE kids.
You want these ICE babies?
Yeah, ICE babies. You know what I'm saying?
ICE baby.
because I'm serious. Because I'm just like, man, like that. They're not gonna. Their parents are not gonna be able to come back over here. They're not gonna be able to come back over here.
Yo, God, like, is American jails worse than Honduras? Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, if all I need to do to get my babies is to do another 4 months in American jails before they send me back to a place that I fled from because they don't have enough of anything for me. And I say, no, I don't want to do those 4 months in this American jail. Send me back to my country that I fled from and separate me from my children. That just sounds crazy to me, man.
It do sound crazy. I don't understand a lot.
I don't get it, man.
I heard her reason, you know, but there was a father too, you know. So I heard the reason. They said the mother said her heart medication or whatever, okay, or her medical. She said a heart condition, you know, whatever.
Yeah, but they give transgender medication in prisons.
Facts. So to me, I'm just like, I don't get that. I don't get the fact that you would just leave your babies
at all, God. Like, and that's my thing as a dad, right? And I don't understand how anybody goes to a whole nother country illegally with people that depend on them and don't try to do everything possible to make it safe for everybody.
Right.
Right. Not just get by, not skate and get over, not do some under the table. I ain't got to pay taxes. Aha, look at me. I'm getting over on the system crap. But like, what do I need to do to make it so that I ain't got to worry about this? Like, cause if all I got to do, if my only issue about getting deported or my only worry about being deported, if I do something criminal, I just got to not be a criminal. Like, that's not hard.
But that's what it used to be.
I'm just saying. Like,
it used to be that. It used to be where you didn't have to, where as long as you weren't a criminal, then you didn't have to worry about that. You know, you didn't have to worry about having an interaction with law enforcement where you broke the law and that would violate the terms of your TPS. Okay. But when you have the new administration, the way they came in is now like, they like stop all processing of all applications, and everybody who don't have their application in by this date, you know, well, who isn't already slated to get a stamp for approval, throw them back in the bin and get them up out of here. And anybody else with a new application, get them up out of here too. Don't even let them apply. If they show up and they like, oh, we trying to, nope, you ain't even supposed to be here. You gone automatically. Automatic U-turn, straight to ICE on a plane. You gone. So that's what's happening now, and that's why I was talking about, like, we living in a time where we getting to see it, where we getting to see those things change, where people could immigrate, go through the be given temporary protective status so they could participate in an economy, all right, start a quality of life, and then eventually their paperwork get pushed through. And it's kind of like that scene in Scarface where you're like, I got a green card, I got one too, look at the picture, you funny looking, you know, right? And no longer is that the case. No longer is that and it can be an American dream for an immigrant, you know. And that's crazy that we're seeing this in our lifetime. You know, we're seeing so much stuff, yeah. Like it's crazy. Like the shooting down of reparations, the whole now the immigrations, no more immigration. You know,
yeah, that reparations thing. Like we always knew that they would never give it to us, but for them to actually come out and say that they would never give it to us, like it's different.
like kill the convo.
Shut
it up. You know, shut it up. Don't you better not even you ask for it again, I'm gonna pop you in your mouth.
You know what I'm saying? People are awful.
Like, dang, I just wanted some ice cream. Dang, you know, it's crazy. We ain't got no ice cream money for y'all. You know?
That's crazy.
But prayers go out to all the families of all the immigrants that are going through that situation. You know, I'm with the God where, like, if you over here illegal, committing crimes, loafing, being lazy, you know, then there ain't no sympathy, ain't no pity party. But when it comes to the babies being affected, you know, I couldn't imagine, you know, somebody took my mama. You know, I couldn't imagine that. That's why I'd be like, I'm so thankful that I wasn't born in the slavery days, because they would have killed, I would have died. You know what I'm saying?
What?
I wouldn't have made it long.
Yo, the little girl did not say she want to go to Honduras and be with her mom. She said she want to hope she can go visit her mom. She ain't said she want to go be with her mom. Like she said she want to go visit.
Visit.
Which is why her jail story don't make sense to me, because I'm saying if the baby don't even want to be reunited with you where you are.
She not used to that. She not used to that. The 19-year-old ain't used to that, and neither was the little baby girl. Neither one of them is used to life in Honduras. They used to life over here. McDonald's, Taco Bell, you know,
everything. Yeah.
Social media, tweets, TikTok. They don't want that. They don't want to go over there and be poor. They don't want to be Honduras poor. You know, American poor is better than anywhere on the earth. We traveled it. We seen it, God.
That's true.
American poor is better than anywhere on the planet that is third world, and they got a version of poor.
Which is why the scammers attack our poor, because our poor have enough money to be scammed.
Think about that.
So I am on my lunch break. It is, I don't know, 11:30 or something like that. And I just finished a 3-hour class. We have what's called block, and block is where first and second periods are combined for subjects that need it. And so I literally broke down in the middle of class because I'm teaching seniors. These kids are leaving high school and going to college, hopefully, after they finish. We had 2 paragraphs to read, 1 sentence complete to write. I gave them the sentence stems. I basically completed the sentence for them in the model. These are 17 and 18-year-old kids, and they couldn't fill in 4 words. 4 words. I gave them the scenario. We annotated together. I gave them the answers before we even had the problem. And they couldn't do it. I don't know. I simply don't know where the problem is. This is only day 2. And I have seniors who simply cannot read and seniors who cannot write. They cannot write. They can reason. They have the ability to defend their reasoning if it's talking to their homeboy, but applying that to a written text, 2 paragraphs, and they couldn't do it. Our young black men, our young brown men, our young black girls, and our young brown girls
What you think, God?
Yo, so I think that he must have just started teaching 2 days ago. That's the only way I'm giving that brother any grace.
With the tears, for his crocodile tears.
For his crocodile tears, right? Because otherwise I'm saying like that's my problem, right? Like these teachers, these professionals whose whole job in life, their whole career goal and path is to educate our youth, to educate our children, to educate those that are ignorant, right? That's why I say like certain professions should be ordainedly inspired, that you should not be allowed to fall back into teaching when your first thing don't work out. You know, those that can't do teach, so to speak, right? Like
So what you think, the guy? He was like a personal trainer first, and and now he a teacher. So now he's so trauma. He's just like, it's the second day. It's the second day. And I didn't realize what they meant by no child left behind.
We left them behind.
We left them behind. And they in the 12th grade. What am I gonna do? You're gonna pass them illiterate children and help them walk across the stage so they can twerk and they can dance and they can do everything else, because that's the way the system is designing it.
Right. Yo, and another thing is like that's why I said like these teachers are quick to blame parents. The parents need to be doing this, the parents need to be doing that. And I'm saying, as a parent, I'm not a teacher. Right? Like I have not been in school. I don't possess the techniques, the tools, the knowledge, the know-how to teach in an impactful way consistently, so that lessons could be, because if I did, I would just teach my children myself and won't even bother with this system. Right? Like we did with my youngest, right? Like we homeschool, but we actually had to do that. Like that was like that's how I know what I'm saying is right, because that was like a whole thing, that it wasn't just, oh, you're not going to school no more, here's the computer, homeschool. Nah. It was like, all right, so we're not going to school no more, so one of us got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this meant that I got to learn this lesson, right, so that I can make sure that you can understand it when it's being taught to you, when the information is being on the screen and you say, Mommy, Daddy, what does this mean? That I know what it means because I studied the material beforehand, right? But that's the parent homeschooling. Like that's the parent learning how to become a teacher, right? So if I don't have, if you don't have the the place and space to make yourself become a teacher at home, right? Because you are so busy trying to get your financial literacy on and trying to, go from paycheck to paycheck, and you actually send your child to the professionals, and the professionals are not ensuring that they can read and that they can write and that they make it all the way to their senior year.
17 and 18-year-olds.
They can't fill in 4 words, right? And you want to talk about, you want to bring up race. And I'm saying, like, no, let's bring up a failure of professionals, right? Like why is our system allowed to, like, if I'm saying like that's like a public service announcement that we need to set these schools on fire and start over, right? Because, or we don't even need teachers no more. Like, let's just do YouTube University. And let's see how we go with that. Like, we got Gen AI for everything now, so I don't even know how much these
you saying so you saying if they can't read and they can't write, they can listen and answer questions, right?
Right, because if people learn differently, right? Who's to say that this generation of people don't need to learn a certain way, right? And if we just fail to accommodate them and just write them and say, you know what, y'all just bums because we quit, I don't think that make them bums. I think that make us bums, right? I think if I'm a teacher, if I take on the profession of educating and I show up to work and I'm like, I don't want to, like remember that lady, the 911 lady, they showed us she was like, she was just hanging up on people for like 2 hours, and she was like, "Yeah, I just didn't feel like working today."
Oh wow, nah. Did they fire her?
She went to jail.
Oh, good job. Good job.
like what you mean? Like, your whole job is saving lives, and you can't not want to do that today, like, or ever. You can only not want to do that on your day off. Right, like, you can't show up to work and not want to teach, and for that dude to be crying, talking about, I can't believe it. Like, what was he doing over the summer? Like he wasn't. I don't know, man. Like, I got a lot to say, man. There's a lot. The curriculum is crazy.
It's crazy. Shout out to Rocky Terry 5249. She said a lot of parents are illiterate as well. I see it every day.
That's my point. That's why we send them to school, right? Because if I can't read, and I know I can't read, I can't give my child what I don't have and expect them to be better. I gotta send them to where I stop paying attention and say, don't be like me, pay attention.
Sound like Rocky Terry be running some dumbass adults all day.
Can't nobody read those eyes.
And they little dumbass kids. No, man. Like, we laughing, we making jokes, but that ain't funny, man. Because
that was sad, man.
Because the youth are supposed to be our future, So if they are having difficulty, and we seeing this brother up here crying and crocodile, I don't even know what to do. Quit your job.
And that's what it looked like to me. It looked like he's looking for consent to quit.
Right. Quit your job then.
Like, he is not motivated to teach. Like, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of teachers that are not motivated to teach, and they just expecting the children to be better students and expecting the parents to be better parents. And if, like Rocky's saying, like, if the parents are illiterate in the first place, like, they are being better by sending their children to school.
You would think, but not if the school is saying no child, like you said, we need to burn it down, right? Not if the school is saying no child left behind, and they saying, well, these comprehension tests and these arithmetic tests aren't important. Just do they get the gist of this thing, and then that allows them to pass to the next grade. The gist, right? So if these are the standards in the school system, then I don't think he lied. I don't think he was looking for a viral moment.
No.
But he also didn't represent, I think, as a man would represent and be like, man, I got some work to do with these babies. You know what I'm saying? But like,
that's the truth.
But I'm pissed off that, you know, that we allowing this to happen as teachers, this No Child Left Behind thing. Like, he ain't point out the fact that it's no way that them children could have made it to the 12th grade at 17 and 18 years old without that function.
He sounded like he gave up on them.
You know, because even if he didn't say, what did they, you know, even if he didn't even try to say, what are the parents doing there? They helping them with homework. I heard they don't even be sending babies home with homework no more. That's rare, you know? So it's crazy. But if that's our future, you know,
we're in trouble, guys.
If that's the future.
Because the teachers are yeah. The teachers are crying. Yeah. The teachers are like, I don't know what to do. The teachers are pulling out their hair.
Give me about 30 more years, man. I'm up out of here, man. Like,
so
about 30 more. I'm gone.
So check it out, guys. If the teachers are unmotivated, are they not indirectly promoting and teaching bumhoodness or bumdom? Like, are they not teaching this, like give up? Like, it's because that's what I saw. Like, I saw him like give up to me.
Well, what they are reiterating is no accountability.
No accountability, for real.
And then we're creating a culture where if you call somebody dumb, like we up here having fun with it, but if you call somebody dumb or illiterate, or say, well, you can't read, you know, then you're wrong for pointing out the truth about that person. And I don't see jobs that are being created. I don't see, with the AI revolution, a structure that's being created to facilitate these children that lack this level of comprehension. So how does that look for them when we talking about being bums, creating bums, a bum school system, you know, that is fostering this narrative, facilitating it? What does that look like for the babies for the future? You know, how are they supposed to have a future? What are they supposed to look forward to when, of course, knowing that they can't read, knowing that they can't write, they're also going to have some type of psychological anxiety about that.
And inferiority and all that.
You know, because they'll be around other people who can, if you ever put them in an environment, they're not going to be the ones that want to step up and be like, you know, well, let me read. I remember, God, when I moved to Atlanta and I was in the 10th grade. And when I got in my English class, the teacher used to always make me read, and I hated it. But what I didn't realize was that she made me read because I articulated words. I learned to read in the North. All right. So I articulated words, and she was so, and I knew how to read real good. Okay. You see me read now, like we read pretty good. Some words I ain't quite good at, you know, but we can articulate it and we can get it out when we focused, right? So she used to force me to read. You know, I didn't even appreciate that till later in life. I didn't even appreciate the fact that she wasn't picking on me. She enjoyed hearing me read because all the other students in the class had problems enunciating and pronouncing the words, because the system was allowing them to pass through the different grades without being literate enough to read the text of the books, you know. So it's just one of them things where I'm just like, man, we need that type of motivation. We need that to come back. And the only way that comes back is with homework, is with practice. Read this. If he can look at his 17 and 18-year-olds, then that brother should be going to the school board saying, I got a classroom full of 18 and 7 full of 17-year-old and 18-year-old young adults who cannot put together a sentence. They cannot read, and some of them cannot write. This did not happen over the summer.
No, they wasn't good in 11th grade reading.
They wasn't good in 10th, 9th, 8th, 6th, 7th.
And then got all the way here and then just forgot.
Right. So we need to do something different. You know, we need to focus on this. How can we focus on this? What can we do? What can we, you know, what do we have? What tools do we have? Well, we ain't got to spend no more money. Maybe we can just restructure something that we got going on internally now. So we don't even have to get no more budget. We don't need to ask nobody for no money. It's just something that we need to do within the curriculum, do a restructure, you know, but they got to want that. And I don't be thinking they wanting that enough. I think he crying online, but he just going home like these dumbass kids.
Yeah, because I feel like to your point, right? I feel like he's saying like, you know, if the parents wanted it enough, the parents would do what you just got finished saying, instead of him seeing that like he's in a position to, like you got the power.
He on the front lines.
Right, like you the one that know exactly what it is that like you got the education, you got the desire, right? You got the tools and you got access to actually make it to where it needs to be, right? And you know who you need to talk to. Like parents don't know any of that. Like parents just know how to complain to the principal and to whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't even be knowing what the right complaint that we need to be saying is to make things happen. We just know if we complain enough, you'll do something because you get tired of seeing us, and you might get scared that I'm actually gonna call my attorney.
Yeah, or get punched in the face. You know, depend on the parent.
Right, like, but you know, that's why they got the police there, so they ain't even worried about that no more.
It's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, y'all, that's what we dealing with, man. And if you know some young people that can't read, man, encourage them. You know, help them out. Don't we? You know, we sit up here clowning, but at the same time, you know, it's not cool, man. That's our future. You know, the babies, the jits, you know, without them, and everybody ain't gonna be a streamer. Everybody ain't gonna be a rapper. Everybody ain't gonna, you know, well, it might. The strip clubs might still be, you know what I'm saying? The strip clubs and the Turks, you know, they might have a whole bunch of, they might have new prospects. But I mean, we ain't encouraging that either. We want people to be married and have families and things like that, you know, lasting partnerships, all that, and be productive. And you can't do it if you can't read or write. It's impossible. You know, it is impossible. Very, very sad. But
you've just been Flavor Bomb, and now back to our show.
Yeah, y'all. So we've been smoking on motivation tonight. And we are at our fifth and final question. Is the word motivation bad, good, or misunderstood? The God Ali Dawood at BK Soul Farm.
I'm a lifeaholic, God. Motivation is good, right? Like the definition, the thesaurus, my understanding of it, your understanding of it. Like even the questions and I build on it. Everything that I'm seeing is good. It's all good.
No doubt, no doubt. Man, I'm gonna say it's good and it's misunderstood. Because I think that the misunderstanding of it is people misinterpret motivation as telling somebody what to do or trying to control them. You know, or yeah, I think that that's what sometimes motivation gets misinterpreted as. And because we in a world where, you know, people have a problem with how things are said, sometimes not what's said, it confuses the situation. You know, it leaves a lot of room for confusion, and then it gets misunderstood. A person won't realize that, like, nah, like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be your boss, but I am trying to motivate you, you know, to understand, like, you probably in a better position than when you was. I don't know where you coming from, but you probably in a better position than where you was, you know, and let's respect that. Let's build on that. So people will misinterpret motivation sometimes, but motivation is always good, you know, to stay motivated, to stay self-motivated, to stay self-determined, to stay, would you say, God, in the beginning?
A reminder never to quit.
A reminder never to quit. You know, all that good stuff. So that's the reason why it's definitely, we agree on the Cigarden Panel that is good. And, you know, Chef Earl Pearl just threw in there that misunderstanding with but y'all got it, man. You know, stay motivated, stay educated and motivated for real, because we got a lot of school system ain't helping, clearly.
Clearly, they crying.
You know. But yeah, y'all, we smoking on the word motivation tonight. And our first question was, what do you think of when you hear the word motivation? Number 2, does struggle create motivation? Or can too much struggle destroy one's motivation? Question number 3, which do you think is the best form of motivation? Fear, self-reflection, or comparison, and why? Number 4, is internal motivation or somebody believing in you more powerful? And 5th and final, last but never least, is the word motivation bad, good, or misunderstood? We would like to know what you think about all of those questions. So please let us know in the comment section below. And we always will respond to each and every comment. Man, we had a fantastic show, some fantastic insights. Y'all, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so when we go live, you never miss an episode of Cigar Sundays Live. I am Chef Earl at DBCHEFTV, always with the guy Ali Dawoodell at BK Soul Farm. And we want all of you to have a peaceful, positive, and productive start to your week. And we will see y'all right here next Sunday, 8 p.m. East Coast time, Cigar Sundays Live. 2 big nerds smoking on words. Peace, God.
Peace, God.
BKSoulFarm.com, 1016-160 self-sustainability. Jump on the list and get yourself together, right?
Only at the DBCHEFTV podcast, where the world talks food. TLS podcast, The Love Speak. TVK podcast, The Veteran Kettle. Cigar Sundays on YouTube. Brunch with the fellas at Brunch Fellas. Bo's podcast, Bo's on the table. Sign up for the newsletter and shop merch and clothing at DBCHEFTV.com.